something we all need. Gotta have it now if you wanna succeed. Striving, surviving, that's no doubt. Sticking together, we gon' find a way out. So all you young people, give it your. So all you young people, give it your. So all you young people, give it your. So all you young people, give it your.
Good evening, the back community. You know how I like to start these things. Thank you for staying involved. Thank you for staying engaged. Tonight's guest that we have on the back community is Miss Benita Robinson of Moisturizing Cream.
Buttercream Moisturizing Cream.
Buttercream Moisturizing Cream.
Right.
I knew I was going to mess it up too. Listen, I was just like, that doesn't sound right. Buttercream Moisturizing Cream. Who's also my relative, my cousin. So shout out to you, Miss Benita Robinson. Thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for being on the back community this evening.
Thank you for having me and giving me this to speak about my product a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey, that is what we're here for. Because listen, I want to know everything about Buttercream Moisturizing Cream, and it's an excellent opportunity to educate myself as well. In regards to not only just the hair products, but how it could take care of your skin as well, because dermatology is very, very big, as I came from my doctor today. So anywho, but yeah, nevertheless, tonight's guest is Benita Robinson, and I'm going to dive right into your story tonight, Nita.
Okay.
All right. The very first thing, the way I like to kick these things off is I know who you are, but I'm sure there's tons of people in the Capital District area, as well as a lot of our audience outside of the Capital District who might not know who you are. So here's your perfect opportunity to tell the back community who you are, what it is that you do, and what is the product or service that you have for us tonight.
All right. So I am might as well say lifelong person. I've lived in Albany all my life, just about, with give or take about a year and a half, almost 2 years. I did live in Virginia, and I have my products. These are the two moisturizing creams that I have available. I have Mango Buttercream, which is my first product I started developing. And a lot of people, I do show a lot of pictures of my hair and things, the benefits that it has for my hair as far as keeping my hair hydrated, but it's also good for your skin. Everything that's in here can be placed on your skin also. I also have, like I said, I have the Shea Butter Cream also, and the Shea Butter Cream was developed because a lot of people do not know anything aside from like shea butter or cocoa butter. That's the main products that they hear in the industry, and they're not aware of other butters that are beneficial to the hair and skin. I became natural again probably in about 2013 due to the fact that I have been going to a Dominican salon probably about every 2 weeks and applying extreme heat to my hair. And also relaxers, and my hair had broken off so badly, like to the point where it probably was about that long in the crown of my head, where my hair grows the best. So I just made the decision, no more. I wasn't going to straighten my hair anymore. I wasn't going to put that type of stress on my hair anymore. And around that time, I want to say probably like 2012, 2013, the natural hair industry was like really, coming out and becoming very big. And I will be the first to say that natural hair is not for the weak. It is not easy. Something where you go and buy a product and you're like, oh, well, I did everything exactly how they did it on their video. Why does my hair not look like that? You have to do what's right for your hair. And I will tell you, these two products will help maintain the health of your hair. And if you use them continuously, each product does contain 3 different raw butters. This one, the mango butter, primarily has mango butter. Another butter that's in there is cocoa butter, and they also have cocoa butter. The butter primary ingredient is shea butter, and it also has cocoa butter and cocoa butter. All these butters have many vitamins and fats your hair and skin will need to maintain hydration. Okay. And I've been making my multi-oil blend. I've been using it myself a long time. And a lot of people, oh, do you sell oil? Do you sell oil? Do you sell oil? I'm like, no, I don't sell oil, but so many people had inquired about it. I'm like, I should give it a try. And when I tell you that this oil is so popular, like I can barely keep it in stock. And right now, so I had like an original label like these two have. Labels right now. So I had to use a sticker I had from a while back because like the demand for the oil is our. There's 8 different oils in the multi-oil blend. And I will let people know also, I have customers who buy the oil for their skin. I have guys who use the oil on their beard. Yep. And I do also have male customers for the buttercream cream for their hair. I just have not had a chance to put any pictures up, but I will. And so the cream and the oil is for all age ranges, all hair types, all textures. A lot of people are like, oh, well, your hair is like this and your hair is like that. It's just about maintaining the health of your hair overall.
Okay. And I'm going to give you more of an opportunity to dive into more of the products as well. But I know that I was fascinated because I think I came across one of your videos, right? And I'm just like, wow, I didn't know Nita had a product, right? So to one, shout out to you for jumping into this industry of actually beautifying yourself and actually putting something together that's going to help us naturally take care of ourselves and of our skin. I could say I was definitely guilty as a male, like moisturizing my skin was the last thing I would do. So it'd be like I get out the shower, probably won't even put no oil or nothing on my body, and be sitting there ashy and cracked skin all day. But the older I get, the more I realize that I actually had neglected myself. Now I make sure I rub all types of oil on myself every day because I'm just learning that my skin is a lot more sensitive now than it's ever been. And now it's like, well, wait a minute, what can I do? So I was intrigued when I seen your product, and I definitely wanted to be able to learn more about it. And I'm happy to hear that you also have products for males too, because I'm coming to you, cousin. I'm coming.
I was going to say, you need to send me your information so I can send you some of my products.
I definitely will.
You're in the area, so if you're here, before I can send it to you, let me know. I'll give you some.
Okay. Well, because I'm looking for, I'm definitely looking for some of that buttercream moisturizer because I said I think I only used to know about for the most part when you talk about the creams or the buttercreams. Cocoa butter, really hear about shea butter, as you mentioned earlier, but cocoa butter was a stickler in our household.
Right.
It always worked on my skin because my skin would heat up. Any of that cheap lotion, that don't work on me. I'll still be ashy. But cocoa butter, that's the real deal.
Right. Right.
But let me see. I know you said you're a lifelong resident of the Capital District area, minus give or take a little bit of time when you went out. To VA as well. Shout out to VA down here in the DMV area. But I'm going to ask you a few questions as well about the Capital District area because it's near and dear to my heart. But how was it? How was life like for you growing up in the Capital District area?
I would say life it was pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, I grew up in North Albany, so it was kind of quiet. And then, my mother, I wasn't allowed to go too far or to do too much of anything. So I could say for me, growing up until I probably was like a little older in my 20s, I was kind of like in my one area, go to school, come home, don't go too far. And I have enjoyed my time here in the Capital District. I have.
Yeah, shout out to North Albany.
Mhm.
You know, I always try to go ahead and pin down where everybody is from as well, because it just shows the uniqueness or the flavor that we all have here. And Albany is small, but one thing I tell everybody is that there's a lot of benefits from being from a smaller community. One, there's competition, but two, it's more of a familial type of vibe where most people know each other. Our families know all the other families.
Right.
That's one of the things that I've always loved about Albany or the Capital District area in general, because it's home. So,
and I could say, like you said, for it to be a small community and everybody knew everybody, my mom probably was aware of a lot more people than what I am, and I'm like, oh wow, like I need to move around and get to know a little bit more, a little bit more. But my experience here has been fairly good, and
okay. And for everybody out there, your mom and so Benita's mom and my dad are brother and sisters. So I did earlier that she's my cousin. So you're to everybody, and she knew the story to everybody. Everybody. So.
Mm-hmm. She is Miss Dearly, I'll tell you that.
I'm Brenda. Yeah, let me see. How did you get? How or why did you actually get involved in the hair industry? What led you? What was the ultimate motivation for wanting to create your own product and get into hair industry and skincare?
So, like I said in the beginning, how I was going and putting a lot of heat on my hair and damaging it. And then I pulled back from that, and there were so many products on the market, so many products. And I was at a point where I probably had almost a full closet full of different products, where I watch these YouTube videos and I'll try the product and my hair didn't come out like that. So I'm on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And then I'm like, I feel like this is something I probably could make something for my hair myself. And, you see things on the internet where people have, they make different products. And I'm like, I can try this. And I will say I've probably been making the cream since about maybe 2016. And it was strictly for myself. And I noticed people, oh, your hair looks good, or oh, your hair is growing, or oh, your hair looks good. Like, what do you use? And I kept saying, I make my own hair cream. I make my own hair cream. And after so many times of people asking, oh, do you make it for sale? Do you sell it? Do you sell it? Do you sell it? And I'm like, no, it's just I make it for myself. And I'm like, nobody's gonna wanna buy that. And then just going along, and it's coming out better, and I'm trying different things, and I'm adding more things, and it's getting better and better. I'm like, maybe I'll give this a try. And that's it. That's it from there. Just not thinking that anybody would really be interested in seeing the interest that people actually do have in the product. I was like, wow, it blew me away, and I went from there.
And I love it because it's like, one, you use yourself as the ultimate test to develop a work for you. And that's one of the things I love, because what works for somebody else is definitely it's not a guarantee that it's going to work for you.
Right.
And almost any facet of life, let alone skin care and hair care. So I love the fact that you tried several different products, several different services, even spending all your money over there with the Dominicans to get your hair, but it didn't work out for you. You know what I mean? So you figured out how to invest in yourself, and what you were able to create ultimately became an investment in yourself, but has the potential to impact so many other people. And I'm thinking of several different people. Like, a lot of people might not know how important skincare and hair care is, but if you look at celebrities that's been talking about it recently, Jada Pinkett. I know I have a close friend from Johnson C. Smith that lives here in the DMV area with me, and she goes through her own. She tells everybody about her journey, and right now she's bald because with I can never say it right. Alopecia, alopecia. Yeah, I get it right. But and she was like, at first, I was kind of scared to let everybody in and embark on the journey with me. But once you open up about it and you realize that it's a lot of other people in the world that are experiencing this in real time with you as well. And then I love the fact that, it takes you to be bold and fearless to overcome those things and to actually be able to say, this is what I'm dealing with, but this is who I am. And as opposed to trying to make myself pretend to be or look like something else, I'm going to go with who I am and my skin. So, but yeah, it's a lot more common than what people actually.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I will say also, like, because I had lost so much hair due to the heat and things, that really made me realize, like, oh my gosh, like, people go and they spend lots of money for this, and it's not like something that everybody can do. Like, it's not something, I don't know, like, I was like in the hair salon religiously probably every 2 weeks. And just my hair out, burning it out. And for years, my mother would say, you don't need that. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. I'm like, no, I want my hair straight like everybody else's, and I want it to look like this. And for me to have to go through that of losing my hair, and something great came out of it. So
nice.
I don't know. It's a journey I had.
I know it is to get your hair done. Sometimes I pay to get my wife's hair done, and because it doesn't last as long, it's like, man, what's that? But how is the process in regards to going natural? Do you see the longevity or a lot more staying power when it is that you do take care of yourself? Is it less expensive than going to get your hair done at the Dominicans? How is that for you, or what has your experience been going from there every 2 weeks from the Dominicans to get your hair done to now being a person who actually maintains and manages her own hair?
So in the beginning, like I said, I probably had a whole entire closet full of products. So it probably was not cheaper in the beginning, but now overall, it is a lot cheaper for myself. And I will say my hair in its natural state, it's not something that's ever going to be like that sleek, perfect look. My hair is always curly, it's wavy. I like to have it out. For the most part, I have my hair all over my head. I will tell you right now, I have my braids going on. I've had them in for about a month now. They'll be coming to an end, but and I couldn't wait to get it braided. This is such a nice break from having to maintain my hair because, like I said, natural hair, it does require, it requires a lot. It's not something that you can just say, oh, I'm going to leave it alone, because if you leave it alone for too long, it will show you like, hey, I need some help here. I need a little hydration. And for the most part, I'm always like braiding up my hair. I have, because I leave it out all the time. And the bigger my hair is, the more compliments I get where I'm like, I don't really care for this. I like for it to be down more. If it's like big, huge, it was like, oh, your hair looks great. I'm like, I don't see it, but okay, thank you. Soft.
And it's in, you know what I mean? Like you said, a natural wasn't always in, but no. It's definitely in now. And I'm gonna go ahead and shout out, especially for Black History Month. It's important to love the skin that we're in, and I think where we are in society right now, understanding the importance of being Black, the importance of Black beauty, and the importance of dressing and wearing, you know what I mean, what comes natural to us instead of, more European styles or fits. I'm just happy that we have a space for everything, whether freeform locks, whether it's going natural, whether it is being bald, whatever it is, you know what I mean, even with the beard, beard is a big, so it's just, it's really, it adds to the scene where, you know what I mean, it's not just one look that you can expect. And, or you can say, you know, now at one point they say, well, no one's going to take you professional if you look this way. Actually, you know what I mean? As long as skills, as long as you have the credentials behind yourself, you know, people are able to look at you as you want to be looked at. And it's just us coming to the table with that level of confidence to demand it.
Right. And why you said, speaking of locks, also, because I probably didn't touch that, a lot of people use the oil for their locks. Because I know the creams. So, and I didn't get a chance to say that, or I forgot to say it, but like I said, but it is great that we are able to show up as ourselves more so into society and be able to say, hey, you know, I have the credentials to do what needs to be done, and I'm comfortable the way I look, and I hope you are too. Like, that's about that.
I love it. I love it. I remember when I was graduating, one of the ladies from career planning and placement was telling me, she was just like, because at the time I had locks, and she was just, Irel, you know, your resume looks so good. She was just like, you know, your grades are great, your resume looks great, but no one's gonna hire you with your hair looking like that, right? And it was really discouraging, but at the same time, at that point my confidence was already so high, right? So I was just like, I appreciate what you're saying, and I know that there's some truth to it, but if someone doesn't accept me for the way that I look in my hair, that's not a place that I want to work for either which way. And I remember telling her before I graduated Johnson C. Smith, and I know she was just, yeah, he ain't gonna get no job. And it's not to say that she was wrong, because that was the truth. There weren't people as much showcasing dreadlocks and stuff like that. So, but I was just like, I took my chances, because the last thing I wanted to do was to be uncomfortable with me trying to appease somebody else that still may not like me. So, you know, yeah. So I kept my locks. I got my job, and after I did it and maintained it for a while, then I cut my hair, because I figured that I had already beat what everybody else said that I couldn't do, looking the way that I was comfortable. So
good for you. See, yes, that is so good to hear. That is good to hear, because I have also heard, oh, pull your hair back or keep it straight so you'll look, you know, more professional. I'm like, what? That's what more professional. That's what that is. Okay. Okay. Like, for the most part, I am a person who I used to always wear my hair in a ponytail, but now, as of lately, with my natural hair, I keep it out more so. But I'm like, wow, like the things that they tell you not to do or to conform to a certain way and things like that, and things will work out just fine for you. Look at that. And I'm so glad to hear you kept your locks and got to where you need to be. Look at that.
Yeah, definitely easy, and it's still not easy for a lot of people, but I think our generation does a better job of learning to take care of ourselves in regards to, you know, this is making me uncomfortable, and I'm going to speak up, where generation before us might not have had the comfort to go ahead and do it, because it's always been a status quo. So it's just like no trying to go up against that wall and break it down. But in our generation, it's like, listen, this is what it is. Either accept me or not, or I might sue you too, because we do live in a very society.
Very much so. People will sue for. You're like, okay, you can really sue for that. Okay.
Oh, you don't like my hair? Oh, okay, all right.
I'm gonna call my lawyer. It's okay.
Let me see. Do you give yourself, as you have evolved as a person, but do you give yourself a permission to change, or do you typically feel like, you know, this is how I've always been, this is the way that I'm going to be? But I always like to ask this question, because I like to explore whether or not if you give yourself permission to change as you evolve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I give myself permission to change, because staying uniform or in the same way can hinder a lot of things. And before we even got started, I was telling you, like, before I was scared to like make a move or do anything because I had my small child that I had to, take care of. And I was scared that if anything, little small thing went out of the way or went against what needed to be done, that, everything will fall apart. Well, my child is older now, and absolutely, like, now I feel like there's like a little bit more room for me to move around and try different things and not be, I don't have that fear so much anymore where I'm like, oh, I can't do this or don't do that, or yeah, that fear there for change is kind of almost all the way gone. Because there's no way before you would be able to tell me that I would actually have actual business, like something like this of my own. I would never have believed that. And now it's like, I can't believe that I am doing it. It's coming along slowly but surely, but it's coming along and it's mine, and it's unbelievable to me.
And shout out to you for your creation. I know you did get a chance to go to the Capital New York State Black Expo
Yes.
early this year as well, to go ahead and showcase and highlight your products. But that is like, hey, your product obviously is something that the world could benefit from. And so many times we have ideas, we have creations, and because we might not be open to change, or we might be too much worried about how it may shake things up, that we don't try it. So I'm absolutely 100% proud of you for stepping into that realm of uncomfortness and creating your, because what that does to our spirit, just personally, even if nobody else bought it, right? But I did that. I created it, and outside of the norm, and I dared to be different. So you did that already, and I can only imagine as the world catches wind to Buttercream rising, or what is actually going to do to other individuals. I'm definitely getting some myself. I'm not just saying that because you're on the podcast, but like I said, I realized how to take care of my skin. You know what I mean? And where to get away, and I would be okay with not doing it at 38. I can't. It's just like, listen, if I forget to moisturize my ashy butt, it's coming back to haunt me. So
right.
Oh,
right.
Got to do that.
And there will be more products coming from Buttercream. I have a couple of different things in mind that I plan to distribute out into the market. So this is just the beginning.
Okay. And actually, I'm glad that you said that, though. But how or where are individuals able to find Buttercream products?
So I have we're on Instagram at Buttercream Moisturizing Cream. And then Facebook, there's a page also. I actually do want to set up where you can shop right from Facebook and Instagram, and I will be doing that soon. And there's also, I have a website. It is buttercreammoisturizingcream.com. I know it's a lot, it's a mouthful, but this is my first website.
I ain't gonna lie, it catches me every time. I be like, listen, I know it, but why I can't get it out? Because it's double.
So, and the website is just a small little website, but it is active, and you can go there and purchase. I can do local delivery, and shipping is available also.
Nice.
So I don't think those people know I do actually have a website, and I probably should show that a little bit more, but it is buttercreammoisturizingcream.com, and shop up. I'm there. I have plenty of product on hand for everyone.
There you go. And it's crazy because so much of us are inundated with social media all the time. And so we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, you name it. But a lot of people forget that there's still a thing called an actual website for most businesses that they have available to you as well. So I'm glad you were able to direct traffic directly to the website as well, because your product not only I'm not just saying just because it's Black History Month, but it's also something that our community needs to have more access to and need better acquainted with, because most times it's not until we run up against some type of illness or ailment that we start to go take care of ourselves a little bit better. But a good quality product that is in existence, we need to know where to find it, and we need to know how to get it, and we need to be educated on it, so that way, our skin could be glowing, our hair can be glowing, and it's revitalized.
Yes, right. Oh, and when TikTok, I'm also on TikTok also. It's Buttercream MC. Yeah.
Buttercream Moisturizing Cream.
Yes. I'm on TikTok also. I try to keep up with all the social media, and it's a lot for me. It is a lot.
Definitely. I have limited myself to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. That's as far as I'm going. That's as far as I'm going. Be like, yeah, that's it. Because half the time I'd be like, with so much scamming and all of this stuff out there on Instagram, I don't even want to be here myself. But luckily, I gotta connect with the audience, with the public. So I'm going to ask another question to you that is surrounded around the Capital District, that's near and dear to my heart. Gun violence is something that is huge there in the Capital District. And I know I always like to say 2018 and 2021 were probably some of the worst statistic-wise in regards to seeing with gun violence. I did have the mayor, Kathy Sheehan, on here not too long ago as well, and she and I talked about it as well. And she said, Ty, she said, overall violence has gone down, but gun violence is at an all-time high. But that leads me to my next question. Living as a resident in the Capital District area, have you or how have you been affected by gun violence, if at all?
So, for myself, I could say it's more like looking out when you're out in large crowds, or just looking out in general. Like if I'm in particular areas, you're like, oh, because you just never know. And I could say across the board, like gun violence can happen anywhere. So it's just like, it does put you on edge a little bit. But I will say, like in the summertime, as far as my child, who is 21, she was out at a basketball game, which before she even went, I'm like, be careful. I was worried about it. It was summertime, bunch of people. And she called me and she's like, Mom, I just want to tell you, I love you. And I think they're getting ready to start shooting. When I tell you, my heart was in my throat. Like I ran outside of my house without my shoes on because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, wait. I'm like, just get down. Because their first instinct is to run. And I wouldn't let her hang up the phone. She hung up the phone on me and I'm like freaking out. But I feel like I'm more nervous of my child who's 21, who should be able to go out and enjoy herself and see her friends. And you just don't know if something may happen, because I've heard her tell me many times, oh, this person or that person, or she knew this person, someone who's been, their life has been cut short from gun violence. And it's very sad, very sad. Like I think it has taken a toll on the kids also a lot. And I'm like, wow, like, I don't even know how to tell her, like, I'm like, I'm very sorry that happened, but, you can talk to me if anything, because me, myself, I probably don't move around so much, but I feel so bad for her because I know at that age of 21, I was able to move around and go everywhere. And I don't think I really thought about things like that, where I know she does. I know for a fact she does. Like if there's like, she thinks there's like any inkling of a problem, she's looking all around and stuff. And I'm like, wow, that makes me kind of sad that you have to be on high alert like that and you're a young person, can't just go out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely different, because you and I think times where, not to say violence didn't happen, because obviously it did, but never to the amounts that it is now, right? So it's like it affects the younger generation differently, because they're growing up at a time where social media is so accessible. So not only you witnessing it firsthand, but you're witnessing it as soon as you log on to your Facebook or to your Instagram, and we're seeing shootings and stabbings in real life. So it's just like, it's traumatizing. And I think in one aspect, we also become, what is the word, desensitized to how serious it really is, because this isn't normal. So, I would like to ask that question on the Black community too, because gun violence is huge there. I read the Times-Union pretty regularly. I think I was just looking at, I want to say yesterday alone, they might have picked up about 5 or 6 different people and major guns. And it's just like, so it's a huge thing there, because overall our safety is very important. Our family safety, our kids' safety is very important. So, I always want to talk about gun violence and, how we have been impacted, whether directly or indirectly from it. Because, your daughter having to worry about her safety every time she goes out, is unnecessary. And, it's just like, we want our kids to be able to travel. We want our kids to be able to, go to a basketball tournament and not have to, whether or not shots are going to ring out. So, yeah.
It's amazing. Like, you have to worry about such things, like even just in the general summertime, like warm weather time. She's like, "Oh, Mom, I'm going to be doing this," and I think, like, in my heart, I get a little flutter, because I'm like, do you really have to do that? Or, did you not go there? And that I don't want her to not be able to enjoy herself at all. At all. It's
50 Cent said it best. What did he say? In the summertime, it's a killing season. It's hot out. That's a good enough reason. And it's the truth. And I mean, when it gets amazing. It's just like, people are bored, people are antsy, and it's just like, okay, so, but it is a topic that's near and dear to me, because, I have friends on both sides of it that's been affected by it. I have family on both sides. I've been affected by it. So, and it's just like, as a community, ultimately, we want to be able to create a safe space, because that affects the community, but it also affects businesses. It affects you getting a brick and mortar spot and not having to worry about, shootings outside of it. That the business. I think putting a cap or trying to get a grasp on it also will allow a lot more of businesses to be created and to feel safe in the Capital District area in these brick and mortar spots. So,
yes, it is necessary. It'd be nice to see more Black businesses, and Albany has done very well. I see a lot popping up, and I'm so happy for everyone that is able to actually have a physical brick and mortar business. Wonderful job everyone is doing, and it's nice to see. Very nice, because like I said, I would never imagine the amount of businesses opening up that you see constantly, and people are into things and doing things. Very nice. Very nice platform that you have here to highlight a lot of those people here in this area too.
Thank you. That's it, man, because a lot of times people forget how many dope people we have just in the Capital District area. A lot of times I think it gets overshadowed because of that. You might hear there's a Fed sweep downtown, there's a Fed sweep uptown, there's a Fed sweep out here in Saratoga, wherever it is. But it's just like, on top of those things, there are some really dynamic, intelligent individuals who are trying to bring more to the table than take away from it. And I think it's to put emphasis on that.
And doing a great job highlighting that. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I know you alluded to some of the successes that you've seen from other business owners around you, but that's going to my next question. I know you said there's a lot of other individuals who have brick and mortar spots or who are doing their own endeavors. I think in November they called it the Great Migration. A lot of people were quitting their jobs to go ahead and do their own, become entrepreneurs. But there's a lot of different success stories to look at. Next question is, what does success look like to you? And the reason why I ask it is because obviously our own definition of success varies. It looks different from person to person. So I always like to ask my guests, if you were to define success, what does success look like to you, Nita?
At this very moment, because I think this kind of changes for me a little bit going along, because I think as I say what success would be, I may reach that goal, and then I'm like, okay, well, I probably could do a little bit more. But success right now is being able to work for myself fully, and just knowing that my business is gonna be able to be self-sufficient after a little while, hopefully. That's it.
Okay.
Right now, that's my definition of success, like being able to be, just working for myself. I don't want to keep working for someone else. And I think when I started this all, that wasn't something that was in my mind, but as I'm going along, I feel like, that's something that, it's eventually I'm going to speak it out into existence. This business will be able to provide for myself and my family. And I won't have to worry about anyone else saying, that we may not need you for this job, or, no, you can't have this job, or anything like that. It's just going to be, this business is going to be big. Yeah.
I like it. And it's, said earlier, we have more entrepreneurs now than we ever been. We have so many people who are deciding to invest in themselves and bet on themselves. And in business, if you have the right plan, even if you have the right plan, you're still going to run up against troubles or chaos sometimes, or things that may not work. But I think an investment in oneself yields the best dividends. What it just does to us confidence-wise, emotional-wise. So for you to be able to have the solvency of your family wrapped up in your business is dope. And, I wish nothing but success for you, and continued success for a Buttercream Moisturizing Cream as well. It's going to happen. And as long as you're putting in the work to make it happen, and continue to broadcast who you are, what Buttercream does. And, that's one thing I love about the internet. It's one thing I do love about it. A lot of things that I don't hate about it. But we're able to take an idea and market it across the world very, very, and affordably. That's the word. Very affordable to do that. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, and me and my talk about success all of the time, and she's like, listen, I'm ready to stop working for anybody, and I just want to. If I want to get work, I will. If I don't, I won't. You know what I mean? But that goes back to literacy too. You know what I mean? Our generation talks more about those type of aspirational pursuits than I think our parents did. Right? It was just like, we didn't talk about finances. We didn't talk about what was what. And it's just like, now it's like, how can I set myself up? How can I set my family up to make sure that they're good? You know what I mean? Do they got life insurance? Do I got a pension? Do I got all these things in play?
And like this, I could say for this business here, I would like to use it to be able to invest in other things. Like, it might not just be just betting on the business, just investments. We didn't talk about that. Parents didn't talk investments, credit, like you said, life insurance and things of that nature, like how important those things were and like are. And like I always try to say to my daughter, like, listen, even if you just take $2 and put it over here and try to do this and do that, it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. Trust me.
Yeah.
I wish someone had told me that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's more of a market for it now. You know what I mean? Like, hey, and our children will be able to reap the benefits of sacrifices that we're making, right?
Yeah.
Where, they're going to be able to start. And I look at my kids all the time and I say that, listen, where you guys are starting at is so far ahead of where I had to start at, right? And I was on, and where our parents started at was so far ahead of where their parents were at. And that's the to be able to empower our the next generation to go further than where we were able to take it as well. And say, now you'll be able to understand credit. You'll be able to say, hey, you know what? My mom, my dad helped me out to do these things where money was such a taboo topic, as well as a finite resource, because it was not readily available in our household.
Not at all. And then sometimes you like, even now, like when I do like doing things for your kids, you're like, wow, I don't think it would have like this, when I was younger, but I'm glad I'm able to do this now.
Absolutely. One day Dominic wanted to play basketball, right? And I don't know, it was Space Jam. He started watching Space Jam, and now out of nowhere he got interested in wanting to play basketball, right? And they would go to Amazon, buy him a hoop to go and play the same day. It came that afternoon, right?
Wow.
And it was
nice.
I remember, asking my mom for a Sega Saturn when Sega Saturn came out. I think I had a friend of mine who was gonna sell it to us for $30. It was like but it's just like, so you think about the availability to be able to provide our kids what it is that they want. Trips, school, to go explore and do different things where we might not have had access to it before. Now it's just like, okay, you want to go to DC with your school? Okay, I'll figure out a way to get that to you, but you'll have it. You'll be able to enjoy those experiences, and it's gonna help. You know what I mean? Where they don't have the same, what is it? They're not coming from the same dire straits that we did. I remember out there in North Albany, and especially with your mother. I'll be sitting out there, and they'll cook some chicken, right? And it was always the bigger pieces of chicken too, Nita. I'll be sitting out there and they be like, and Ty, you can't move until you eat everything on this plate. And I used to be scared of big pieces of chicken. And I'd be like, you gotta sit here, so now it's just like, these kids here, I don't want that. Be like, well, before I might not have eaten, saying some stuff like that, or I had to sit here for forever until I eat it. So it's different for these guys. So
different, and glad that we're able to provide the opportunities for the kids that and not be stressed or worried so much. Where you're like you said, when we were younger, there was things like you sit there, eat all your food, or you didn't eat, or if they don't want, if they want to do something, you're like, oh, okay, yep, I can make that happen. It's not so much worry and things like that. And so thankful for how far we've come and be able to provide for the kids, and hopefully they'll be able to, like you said, pay it forward to the next generation.
Yep.
We have little grandchildren somewhere.
Huh?
When we have little grandchildren somewhere down the road.
Yeah. I think our biggest struggle with this generation now is just gratitude, right? I think so many of them are entitled or feel entitled. So it's kind of like, we knew that we didn't have anything, so we had to get out and go hustle and bustle to create it, right? So these guys is just like, well, we were talking offline before. I was just like, well, I'm paying your phone bill. The least you can do is pick up the phone when I'm calling you. So,
right. And
man.
yeah, like that is very true because like the kids feel like you're supposed to or you should or I'm like, no, that's not how it works, but okay. You're a little spoiled, but
Here, Nita, I'm gonna let you go because I know you're a busy woman, an entrepreneur. But I got a couple more questions for you, and I'm gonna let you go. This one here was probably my favorite question from season one, because I learned a lot about a person just based upon what it is that you listen to. One, shout out to D Block. I know you're a D Block fan. But what's your favorite place to visit in the Capital District area and why?
Let me see. To visit as far as like for
anything. Like you got a spot that you like to go to. That's your spot. You like to go to this spot, listen to music. You like to go to this spot to get food. You like to go to this spot just for peace. What is your spot?
For food wise, I like to move around. I try different places all the time. I love food. I'm very greedy and I love to eat. So I try I don't have like a favorite place to eat. I know recently I did try in Schenectady drumming crabs and it was good and I would like to go back there. Their atmosphere was really nice. As far as places to go, when the weather's nice, I usually like to walk down by the waterfront, by the Corning, and I do that as much as possible. I try to get out there most of the time on the weekends early before a lot of people come or before it gets too hot. And in the evening time, it's not really too many people there. It's not too bad, but it's just nice to take in quiet, a little fresh air. And you said for music, what kind of music do I like to listen to?
I was only looking for one, but
okay. I
always like to figure out.
I don't know if you pay attention to my stories on Instagram. I listen to everything, and my music can go from very calm to all the way up here. So
I'm going off on a tangent right here with this one because I'm talking about the Locks versus Dipset, and I don't know how I bet against LOX, but I definitely did. So shout out to you because man, listen, that performance was out of this world. Because I'm just like, man, how did I think that the Dipset was going to do it? But they didn't come prepared anywho. But the Locks, they came prepared and shut it down from the beginning to the end. So shout out to your boys. I'm going off on a tangent, man. But shout out.
Let me tell you, that day all day between arguing with my honey and people on the internet, it was so entertaining and I enjoyed that so much.
Yeah, I definitely had to come back and said, you were on to something. You were right. They definitely came to perform, man.
Yeah.
And let me see. As an entrepreneur, I'm gonna leave you here with this question, because we talked about financial literacy a little bit earlier. But do you think that it's important to teach entrepreneurship as early as high school for students? Why or why not?
Absolutely. I could say if I had known more about the overall aspect of opening a business or starting a business and like knowing the difference between like a LLC and an S Corp and a C Corp and all that stuff, I probably would have started long ago with something. Not to say necessarily I would have been into what I'm into now, but I definitely probably would have started long ago. And I can tell you, I am probably like just getting through things on my own and learning as I go, and probably taking my time more so. And I feel like if I had more information or knew more, I probably would be able to, establish things a little bit faster. But I am glad I did take the steps that I have taken. And like I said, yes, children as young as high school should know what is necessary to open a business, because not all people, like, they may be able to open a business and give something great to the world. And from right there, they may not have to go any, I'm not saying that education is not important, but sometimes you may be able to start something a little earlier and be able to, do something great right there. Absolutely. Like, if I had known, like, I still have a lot to learn for myself. So, yes.
Okay, good. And I think that it is something that needs to be taught, especially now with everyone wanting to be entrepreneurs, especially with this being able to take over from businesses from parents and stuff like that, and not wanting our kids to fumble the bag because they haven't been exposed to dealing with finances or running a business. And I think that those life skills will provide more fruit as opposed to us just giving them something. So you give them something up front, but if you can teach them how to sustain something over time, like being an entrepreneur, and also realizing that school isn't for everybody. So because a school isn't for everybody doesn't mean that everyone doesn't want to be successful. So you want to go ahead and be able to say, well, if that's not your avenue you want to go to, you still got to figure out how do you get to that the end result, which is all of us want to be successful at what it is that we're doing. So entrepreneurship is definitely an avenue, a way. It's a whole vibe right now. So, but yeah, I'm glad you.
A lot of times you see, like, there's parents who have open businesses and the kids get, the parents may have passed away and the kids get a hold of the business. Either they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't want to be bothered. And I feel like if you are taught these things, if a business is passed down to you and you might not particularly want to be bothered, maybe you can put people in place to maintain that business so it can stay within your family. A lot of times, parents have worked hard and been through so much, and they may not necessarily talk to their kids, and they may think that the kids may just want to jump in and get into that. And a lot of times the kids are like, I don't want to be bothered with that. I don't want to have to do that. And it's easier for them to sell the business and just take some of money instead of saying, hey, let's think about the longevity of things, and maybe somebody else can run this while, I reap the benefits of it, and just, oversee from a distance. And if you're able to oversee from a distance and know what you're looking at and know what's going on, then things could be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that, the same principles that you just spoke of can be applied to businesses. It can be applied to houses that our parents
Right. Yes.
Any type of, you're not prepared to deal with it, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to sell it. You're probably going to lose it. And it's probably not going to be part of that family's legacy moving forward. So, but yeah.
Speaking about property, also a lot of times kids like, I don't want to be bothered with that house, or when it could be a great thing, a great investment, a rental property if you don't want to necessarily live there. Airbnb, you can use that site, the area for that. A lot of things going on, and just if you explain these things like, hey, this can be a long-term thing if you pay attention and know what's going on. And a lot of times the kids don't want to listen, but if you keep giving it to them, they're going to pick up enough to be able to keep going like, well, I remember this, or I know this, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, the Back community, man, I really just want to thank Miss Benita Robinson moisturizing, Buttercream Moisturizing Cream. I got it. You know what I mean? For giving me your time this evening. I really want, like I mentioned to you earlier, I really want to see you continue to pursue your passion. I really want to see you to continue to find the joy in what it is that you're doing. Like I said, man, the brand that you're building, the business that you're building is something you might be able to pass on to Ari. It's something that's going to be big enough to sustain you. And cousin, I'm here for it. I'm with it. And I wish you nothing but continued success. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell your story tonight. And I can't wait to get it out to the people.
Thank you for having me. And I'm wishing you continued success with your platform. This is such a wonderful thing. I cannot even believe I just had this opportunity. I was, like I said, I was so nervous earlier, and it turned out great. Time actually went by pretty quickly when you said, "Oh, I'm going to let you go." I'm like, wow, we've been chatting for a little while, and it was great. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay. You are
great talking with you. I hope we can keep in contact and, speak with each other every so often. We don't get to talk too much, but that would be great if we could.
Absolutely.
And make sure you send me your information so I can
without a doubt, because I need some Buttercream Moisturizing Cream.
Exactly. And you have to leave me a review and let me know how it was, how you enjoyed it.
Got you covered. Well, Nita, man, thank you again. I'll play catch up with you later.
All right. Good talking to you. Thank you. Bye.
Keep climbing up the ladder. A Black Lives Matter. It matter. So all you young people, give it all. 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 Matter. A Black Lives Matter. They matter. A Black Lives Matter.